If you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I am here live, but not live. I'm chilling at home, taking the day away from the studio. I'm still tracking Jason to make sure, I keep up with my dinners. And he's tracking me to make sure he keeps up with. Well, did I switch it to cigars or dinners? I don't remember. Anyway, I guess I doubt it. So I'm about at 18 and he's about at 13. So I got to stop saying the S word that talks about other people. And, I might be able to make it through the weekend, but I don't know. Some stuff that's going on in the news today, I might end up adding at least 5 of those S words today and starting the weekend even with Jason. So what's got me upset today? It seems like whenever I'm remote, it's a pop-off Friday. Like something gets me bothered, gets under my skin. Today, it's an old nemesis, higher education. Higher education is, by and large, losing its identity, I think. What we called higher education, what we use higher education for, doesn't really seem to be something that's viable today, but it is. Higher education is always, this is me. I think higher education is always important. Today we have to start to look at every instance of higher education in terms of what can we do to change it, what can we do to increase access. And the only reason I'm that passionate about it is because I literally just got my loans paid off. Right? I literally just got my school loans all wiped off because of public service loan forgiveness. It was a chore. Calling and waiting and form after form and email after email and begging other third parties to fill out forms and send them in. And all those things I had to prove. But there was a glitch in the system, right? So it used to be anything past 120, if I remember correctly, anything past 120 payments, 10 years worth, you would automatically get that money back. That's the lie they told. What they said is any payments made after getting it approved, you get those payments back. And I'm like, I don't remember it being that, but they must have changed it. You know how they love the fine print. And if they didn't, it's a little disingenuous. Why is that? Because I got a second bachelor's degree, I got a master's with 2 concentrations and a PhD. So that was 3 sets of loans that I had. So let me show you what they did. They came in and they forgave the first 2 and gave me credit for payments after when they forgave it back to October 2022. But what they said they were going to refund didn't make any sense. Like that number's too small. Like that number's incorrect. And for me to have had to fight them over it and wait for the system to come back and correct that number, I would have still had to make payments until they finished that out. Then on top of that, the third loan, you'll have to wait and you'll have to refinance. So I already refinanced, and I did what I was supposed to do to refinance that loan, so it should be eligible with the others, but it wasn't. Here's what I call the scam. They said if you have any outstanding payments, those refunds that they give you will then go towards the outstanding loan. So I had one small outstanding loan that was to be forgiven, that they took the money from the first two, applied it to the third one that they quote unquote were late refinancing. Why, I don't know. And then all of a sudden, I get no refund. They take all the money. So they still took all the money. They still lied and said I got a refund, but I really technically didn't, because they took it and applied it because they drugged their feet and made sure one of the loans was outstanding, so they could apply what they were supposed to get back to me to the loan, and I get nothing. So the government still gets all the money. The government still takes all the money. The government still, I say, lies to students. And schools don't do a good job at helping their students understand school loans. They just give them an aid package that's too difficult to understand, that has a time limit on it, and you have to sign up by this day. And if you want to go to school, and now the cost of higher education is through the roof. And it's time that higher ed comes to grips with itself and starts to change in a way that actually benefits students and not them making money. What we use higher education for is access to information. But that seems to be growing apart in recent years of the internet, AI, Google, YouTube, places where I can get alternative education for little or no money. But then I started to think, why does it cost so much? Because one, the price is too high. And two, we need to tell people this is when you're going to get a raise. You're not going to get a raise every year. You're going to get a raise every 2.5, 3 years. And it's set, and that's what it is. Period. We need to slow down, I hate to say it, we need to slow down the growth
of universities to a point where it becomes more and more outrageously expensive. Universities at $65,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year, and you got to do 4 years. $320,000, $240,000. It doesn't make any sense at all to me. Between $240,000 and $360,000 to get a 4-year degree. But then you look at it, it takes an average of 2.5 years to get through a 2-year degree if you go to school full-time. And if you go to full-time at a university, on average, it takes about 6 years. So let's create a program that reflects real time. Let's roll back higher education, lock the cost in at the time that you come in. So right now, if you go into a school and it costs $15,000 a year, it's going to cost $15,000 a year, whether you take 1 year, 2 years, 5 years, or 6. Your tuition stays set at the year you came in. That way, I know exactly what I need to do in order to generate money to graduate each and every year. The cool thing about it is if it takes me on average 6 years, why not just create a 6-year program? Well, they take somewhere with 10 or 12 credits. You got to have 12 to be full-time in order to get financial aid, and that's the scam. We set you up in a system where you have to take more classes and then take more time. So if you're going to do that, lock in the price. If you're going to have them take more time. If they're going to pay more money, lock it in so they pay the same thing every year for 6 years. And then take in a minimum amount of students and then make sure you retain those students. But now you've guaranteed that every year, a new class, the price goes up, and then lock that in too. It's becoming too expensive. I believe schools have lost their identity, and they have lost what reflects what we call higher education. But then how do we do that? How do we change? Well, George Brown Tinwell said, to change is not necessarily to lose one's identity. To change, and in this case for higher education, to change sometimes is to find it.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Tune in to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on Wednesday, May 1st, as he will be broadcasting live from the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Milwaukee's College Signing Day, presented by Direct Supply. He'll speak with students from the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Milwaukee about their journey through high school to college, their career aspirations, and the over $1 million in scholarships they have earned to attend college. The Truth's coverage of the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Milwaukee's College Signing Day is sponsored by the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee.
Beautify your entertainment space with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Hi, this is Gina Della from Pella. Turn your ordinary space into something extraordinary with brand new Pella windows. The luxurious look, sleek design, and custom colors available is guaranteed to give your home the extra pop to entertain and keep you comfortable. At Pella, we see windows differently. We have the highest rated energy efficient products and a complete range of durable, functional, and high quality products that bring out the best of your home. Plus, getting the perfect windows and doors for your home has never been easier. Right now, get 0% interest for up to 36 months. Or no down payment, no interest, and no payments for up to 18 months if you book before April 30th. That's right, get 0% interest for up to 36 months, or no down payment, no interest, and no payments for up to 18 months. If you book before April 30th, take ownership of your living space and make it a place worth living with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as one business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Protect your dream home with American Family Insurance. And you can weather any storm. You'll also save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote. Find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Come in with straight truth.
When we talk about giving more money to these ideas and we are pouring into NPS, sometimes people wonder, is they pouring into a cup with a hole in it? They got raises. We got one of the highest paid superintendents in the state. Where the money going? And not only for NPS, where's all the money going that's coming in to help the city of Milwaukee? Is it being managed correctly? I'm talking about on all sides.
Catch the Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm trying to hold off on my pop-off Friday because, well, I'm trying to ease into the weekend and have a nice time and trying to take it easy. But every now and then, you know, some of those things happen where it just causes you to sit back and wonder. You know, I sit and I listen to college students complain about the cost of tuition, and part of it is the fact that they pay so much that it's almost unconscionable. It's difficult because I work in that space. It's difficult because I see what can happen with a quality education. We can also see with all the complaining and the backbiting and the screaming and the hollering as it relates to Columbia University and what they're arguing about, comes down to are you ready to really deal with some of the issues that are going on in higher education, or are you here to just get an education and go home? We've got faculty that are turning kids' minds into political machines, and you know, we've got people who believe if you don't think like me or walk like me or talk like me, we got to get rid of you, cancel you, however you want to call it. Conformity, I believe, in college is dangerous. We've got a group of people that are going into the world that thinks the world has to adjust to them, and it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. We hope, but it's not going to happen. We've got people going after people. We've got people attacking people. We've got, you know, the San Jose, California mayor. Somebody just attacked his or her, I don't know which one it is, security detail to try to get to the mayor. Like, these things are going on and on and on. And at some point, will politics be that important that we lose all semblance of decency and understanding? What are your thoughts? 833-212-1017. Have we lost the ability to be kind to our neighbors and be kind to people who disagree? You know, I sit and listen to some of the things people call me in the talking text. I listen to some of the sideways remarks, even some other hosts here on 1017 The Truth make about me, you know, which is done in jest, like we kid and poke each other. But there's some semblance of authenticity and honesty and realness in things other people say. And I'm okay to take the good with the bad. It's when people start to dismiss you because of who you are or what you are or what they perceive you to stand for. And if you're a little different, give me a call. Tell me how people have treated you as it relates to you being different, and then tell me how you've won, because that's really what it's about. It's about winning in whatever form or fashion that you say is winning, but it's about winning. 833-212-1017 is the number. Tony from Tulsa, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Where you been? Where you been?
So I was going to say, where you been? You don't know nobody no more since your boys came to town.
Well, they're my boys, though.
I was like, man, since your peoples came to town, you acting brand new.
Hey, I'm always brand new. Every day, brother. Every day. No, I've been traveling like a, I don't know what I can call it, because it no matter what I use as a metaphor, it's gonna come out wrong and somebody's gonna get mad. So I'm gonna just say I've been traveling a lot, and I'm gonna let that go.
Okay, I'm glad that you've been able to get out and travel like you want to. So yep. I can commend that. But yeah, to get into the topic, I am really, really proud of these college students, standing up for a cause that's just. And to me, what I see is this is their Occupy Wall Street moment.
Well, what's the just cause? What's the just?
The just cause is what our tax dollars are going towards in genocide in Gaza. So I'm on board for not having my tax dollars going to fund this. And the double speak that's coming from the president is like, oh, this is atrocity. These atrocities, but all the while you sending our tax dollars to and weapons to the military industrial complex to give to these people to continue this. And this is a dangerous game, and it's not making the people over there any safer by doing this. The world sees this, and they like, okay, all right, this is what we're allowing to happen. You're allowing these people, these innocent men, women, and children to be blown to bits for nonsense.
Yeah, but are you talking both sides, or are you talking just one side?
I mean, who has the power?
Doesn't matter
who controls what
power.
comes.
Doesn't matter.
It does matter who has the.
Are people dying on both sides? Are people dying on both sides?
Not to the extent that they're doing. I mean, that's like saying having a slave master and saying who has the power.
I'm not on Israel's side, and I'm not on the Palestinian side. But what I'm saying is that you have to understand that you are listening and watching propaganda, just like both sides are putting out propaganda. They cut, killed, mutilated, and put babies in fires and burned them and cut their heads off.
That's not what happened. That is not what happened.
Let me finish?
Yeah, I'll let you finish, but I can't let you finish with nonsense.
You can't let me. No, you're gonna have to be quiet and listen to it.
Go ahead.
That is what Hamas did initially to the Israelis when they did
that's
the
not
attack.
That's not what they did.
Let me finish. October 7th.
Okay, go ahead.
They also killed about 1,200 people at a concert.
But we don't know
Israel
the numbers.
Has also, we do know the numbers. Stop it.
No, we don't, because the Israeli. We don't know the numbers specifically because.
Okay, stop.
Go ahead.
You can't not believe the media when you decide you don't want to believe it, and then believe it when it supports your side. Either you're going to be in the middle, or you're going to be on one of the sides. So stop.
It's not my side. It's just whether
on both
how
sides.
Are you allowing people to come in to investigate? No. Why are you not allowing people to come in and investigate? Oh, because that is right.
We've already
I don't
got
want you
people
to know
embedded
exactly
in the Israeli government. Stop. We already.
We
they
don't.
are
We
an
don't.
ally. They are an ally. We have.
They're
CIA
not an
there.
ally.
Listen to what I'm saying. Oh, what? So the
How?
CIA has
That's
never
like
worked
saying
with the
I got a
Mossad?
friend.
Answer my question.
That's like saying
Has the CIA ever worked with the Mossad?
Yes, they have.
Okay.
Have we ever worked with terrorists? Yes, they have.
Yes, we have.
Have they ever worked with dictators?
Of course.
Yes, they have.
So
what's the point?
And my point is this. My point is, let's not paint one side as being mean and the other side as being all cherry rosy clean, because they're not. Palestinians support Hamas just like Jews support IDF, and some agree, some don't. And to be honest with you, we shouldn't be in the middle of it at all anyway.
I agree. I don't want my tax dollars to go over there. But what I do know is they're not allowing people to come in to investigate. The reason you don't want people to come in and investigate, you have so much power to. Wait. You're not letting me finish.
No idea why.
You're not letting me finish.
Give me evidence.
I do know why.
To your argument.
I can send you tons of evidence.
Come on.
I can send you tons of evidence.
That you support.
I'm not talking about media. I'm talking about people. I'm talking about people on the ground. Even I can give you resources from the horse's mouth. I can give you resources from the horse's mouth saying that I want to wipe these people out.
Listen, we can't get information from Israel, but you can get information from people on the ground in Israel and in Palestine.
We do know that the people.
Okay.
So let me ask you. Let me ask you this. So the people that were bombed and had security detailed from the
Which one?
I can't remember the quite name with the kitchen people, right? They had security detail. Told you where we're going to be at, and they still bombed them.
Right.
But, Hamas. No, you did that. They told you where they were. They called in, and you still did that. Why?
Right.
Because I control.
Because
just like
Americans died in the Middle East, just like Americans died after the
That's what
war.
aboutism, though.
You going to let me finish? After 9/11, there are things that happen in war that happen, and you're either going to accept it, and life is terrible, and life is bad, and innocent people die in war, there's a thing called the fog of war that's real. I don't know if you've ever experienced it in war or law enforcement or military, but in the moment, there's fog, and you can't always make a clean-cut decision that's 100% correct. The problem is people hold you. You don't even know what you're talking about because you were never in the military and you were never in law
I don't
enforcement.
have to be in the military.
Yes,
that's like
do.
saying I gotta be a druggie to know not to do drugs. That doesn't even make sense. I love those nonsensical arguments.
Analogy.
You haven't even been this, so you don't know. I don't have to be in the. I don't have to be a necessary into a particular thing to know it. I don't have to be a race car driver to know how to drive. I don't have to be a race car driver or engineer to know how to break down a vehicle. I don't have to do those things to have the education to be able to do it. That's a nonsensical argument and a ridiculous argument just because it's trying to bowl my point, which it does not.
Talking over me, so I'm gonna just wait.
Because you keep talking over me. I gave you the time, but you keep talking over me.
Excuse me. You don't give me a chance on my show. I give me a chance on my show. You need to calm yourself down, or else I'm gonna have to meet you at Starbucks. Okay, that's 2 cups of coffee you owe me at Starbucks. So Jason owed me dinner. You owe me Starbucks. All right, we done. The point I'm trying to make is this. Yes, you do. There are some experiences in life. If you haven't experienced it, you should probably keep your comments to yourself. I can respect the fact that you think you know something about law enforcement or you know something about the day-to-day, being shot at, fighting for lives, fighting for your life, fighting for lives of people who don't even want you on the planet Earth. You know nothing about that. You have to at least respect that as it relates to military, law enforcement, firefighting. You don't know. You've never had that experience. And I don't care what you say or what you think you know, you'll never, ever have it. At least respect the perspective. But when you say that it's nonsensical and you've never been in a firefight, you've never been in an instance where your life is threatened or someone is actually trying to kill you, there is nothing you can say. It's an insult to even rise up and think you could say that. And I'm speaking in general, not necessarily to you. But thank you for your call.
Okay.
I appreciate it.
Wait, Dr. King.
No, I got to go. See? I get to say the last word.
Okay.
That's how I go. Now you owe me 3 cups of coffee. See, that's okay. That's
all right, Dr. King. I got you.
Take
I
care,
got you.
All right. I'm going to squeeze in Winky Blue. 833-212-1017 is the number. Winky, what's going on?
Hey, good afternoon to you, sir. You know what bothers me is when I hear people, period, that are American bred, be American dead, right here in this country, turn against their own country. Now, we got problems, but I have to stick with, I have to stick with what's going to protect me. When I hear young people, especially talking about death to America, and they in our country, all the love just went out the window.
That is funny, man. Isn't it? That is funny, isn't it?
I can't eat. It's crazy
that
because
is funny, isn't
I hear these
it?
people. These people call and they talk bad about America, but if they really want this country to fall, it's going to fall on the black man in America, and we're going to be ground to powder first. So we need to understand when we come to be anti-American or going against America, the first thing they're going to say is, we're not anti-American, we're just saying that's not right. Well, when you go against your allies, and I can understand that in our community, because that's what we do to one another, okay? We go against one another. But if you got an ally that's holding it down for whatever political purpose, whatever diplomatical purposes it is, that's supposed to be your friend. Now, when you get to looking over there, the Palestinian people just became a people known as a people. What, 1968? That's when the Palestinians became actual Palestinian people. The word Palestinian had been used, but they became a nation. I don't know, man. I'm kind of off, but I remember reading 18 something that it was recognized, but they became an actual people, I think. And we can't become a regular actual people because we keep changing who we is. We change who we is. So I'm going to stick with America holding up Israel's hands. And I understand the concept of Israel. And I understand the whole ideology of the land been regicide and genocide, and now we have Zionist Jews there. But I'm more concerned about the land, because one day the people that they found in National Geographic, those black people over there in the Africa, in the jungles and Congos that was found speaking fluent Judean language, and they brought them back to Israel. Israel didn't even want to give them their citizenship. I believe one day, if God don't come destroy this place, we will inherit that land. I'm not saying me, but I believe the right people for the land was there, and the Arabs is not there. That's an Ishmael crowd, and they really not even Ishmaelites if you start doing the math, because they've been genocide and regicide. But Doc, let me get out of here. I appreciate you, man.
All right, take care. 833-212-1017, the number. This conversation seems to have taken a turn for the worst, and we're gonna have to get it back on track. Let me know what you think. Let me know. It's a terrible situation, but to a point, Winky Blue has it right. We live in America, and when you live in America, you have a right to say and do those things. You have a right to protest. You have a right to disagree. My fear is when we want to negate what other people say and do and think. That's a problem. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Traffic, sports, weather, all that stuff. Up next.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Your drink, sir?
This virtual vacation is brought to you by Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport. For the full experience, visit flymke.com to explore our many nonstop destinations. With super convenient parking and low fares, flying from Milwaukee makes traveling so easy, it's like starting your vacation early. Fly easy, fly MKE.
Eagle Sports Range has an unbeatable offer on concealed carry license classes. For just $49, enroll in their 3-hour class led by expert instructors prioritizing safety. Learn laws, techniques, and mindset for responsible carrying. Stick around for an optional hour of range time with instructors included in the package. Practice under professional guidance and gain confidence. Open 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day at 2525 East Layton Avenue in Cudahy. Secure your spot at eaglesportsrange.com. Eagle Sports Range, where safety meets skill.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Telly Hughes with his truth.
How many times have we been told perception is reality? Look, I'm not here to dispute that, but as true as that statement is, it couldn't be further from the truth when it comes to social media. The way we perceive something or somebody on social media is typically nowhere near how things are in their real lives. Unfortunately, identifying the difference between people's online life versus their real lives gets compromised because people want it to be real. And that's okay. What's not okay is people trying to live up to these fictitious lives that's being presented and getting thousands of likes. You often see posts of people on vacation with the caption, "Living my best life," or "So-and-so doesn't owe me anything." Again, nothing wrong with that. But I wish people would view social media like they do SportsCenter. On those type of sports shows, they only show the highlights of the game. Highlights. On social media, you're only seeing the highlights of people's lives because you probably won't get many likes on a post that shows you stressing over having more bills than money and trying to figure it out. The point is, don't get caught up trying to live up to something that isn't even real. Influencers are going to influence, and some have made a hefty living doing so. But happiness isn't a one-size-fits-all contraption. Create your own happiness. Plan out how you're going to obtain it, and then protect it the same way you would guard your most prized possession.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Truth Be Told with DT and Telly weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Well, your travel along 43 southbound is going to be a long one. It's going to be slow basically from before Hampton Avenue. It's solid all the way through the Marquette. Starts to lighten up just a little bit. We do still have some delays in pockets all the way down to the KK River. Northbound side slow out of the Marquette up past Keefe. Westbound 94 heads up. We do have a crash right in the stadium interchange off on the right shoulder. So it's going to be slowing you down right out of the Marquette all the way past the stadium. The eastbound side is also going to be a bit slow from about 84th Street through to about 35th. And check out the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast tonight. Chance of showers and isolated thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, breezy, a low of 50. Then tomorrow, partly cloudy, windy, and warm with an afternoon chance of showers and storms. Strong storms are possible, too, with a high of 78. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Kyle Wallace.
With the 25th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Jordan Morgan, tackle, Arizona.
That sound courtesy of Packers.com. Yes, Jordan Morgan is the selection for the Packers in the first round. We will see what they have coming up for the rest of the draft, as the second and third round will be tonight, with the 4th through 7th round happening on Saturday, and that can be seen on ESPN. The Milwaukee Bucks are back in action this afternoon as they gear up for their Game 3 matchup against the Pacers in Indiana. Chris Middleton's health is in doubt. He will be a game-time decision. Tip-off for that game is set for 4:30, so set your clock, and it can be heard on our sister station, 620 WTMJ. This True Sports Update was brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams, member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Al, you're on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth.
Yes, I hear y'all talking about Gaza, and from my point of view, I feel like each and every individual should have the right to live in peace, no matter what religion you follow. And I think one of the problems is that everybody puts one higher than the other. I also feel like we have issues in the United States that needs to be addressed. But what's going on right now, nobody want to let nobody live in peace. And nobody should have to die. So for the people that's in Gaza, they have two choices. Either pray and die, or take your stand and fight back with the amount of violence that you can. Because if they're gonna kill you, why be an easy target? But everybody has the right to live in peace and harmony, no matter what the religion is. And before I go, didn't God supposed to come back 500 years ago?
I don't believe so.
Okay.
But when you say America has issues like what?
Well, we have issues here with racism. We got homelessness. We have all these things where black people are they're being looked past. They're going out every way to try to use the psychological warfare that they're going to yank your history and put other people's ethnic groups above theirs to show that even though we recognize your potential, we're going to do everything to use psychological warfare so black people don't recognize their potential. So while the things that's going on over there, we need to be concentrating what's going on over here. Because the real issue is a lot of these people coming with this psychological warfare have empty souls, and they cannot look in the mirror at who they are. So when you try to tear down a race by putting other races before other races who don't recognize their potential, then they don't have to worry about recognizing the strength and power that they was given from birth. So we really need to focus on the issues we have in America, because right now the issues we have in America is greed and racism, and we're too busy trying to help another country about what's going on there, where we're not even taking care of home. You got to take care of home first before you put on the cake. But everybody deserves the right to live in peace and harmony, no matter what religion you follow or whatever religion you have faith in. Because if this is America, how can we go over there and say, hey, you need to be doing this, when we're not even practicing it over here?
All right. Thank you much. I appreciate it, Al.
Have a great day.
You too. 833-212-1017 is the number. Do you agree, disagree? I agree with Al. I believe that even though, I'm one of those who believes, I believe my religion is correct, and I believe my religion is the one, Christianity and all that. But I'm not going to dismiss anyone or treat anyone worse because of what their religion is, whether I agree with it or not, whether I think. I had a guy who told me in no uncertain terms he thought anybody that was a Christian was a fool and an idiot. And he thought he was shocking me as if I'd never heard that before. Or he was telling me to shock me into, why do you say that? To goad me into a conversation about his religion. What I said to him is, it's unfortunate that you don't practice the principles of your own religion towards people who are not. I think it's interesting that you say you believe these things, but yet you wouldn't talk to a Buddhist that way, or you wouldn't talk to a Wiccan that way. But when it comes to Christians, and I'd heard conversations with this person over the years, but when it comes to Christians, you denigrate them and you trash them. So it made me think, well, what is it we have that you don't have? And I think it's unfortunate that we tolerate every single religion, even those that don't have one. But when other people denigrate Christianity, nobody steps up to defend it. Now, I think nobody steps up to defend it because they're ill-equipped to do so. They can't argue the nuances of Christianity, and they can't defend it. In other words, they're not very strong in apologetics, defending the faith. And so maybe that's something that needs to be done. But in the end, you still live in America, and people have a right to say and do and be who they are. I wonder, can we do it respectfully? 833-212-1017 is the number. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. You can turn your ordinary space into something extraordinary with brand new Pella windows. The luxurious look, sleek design, and custom colors available is guaranteed to give your home that extra pop to entertain and keep you comfortable. It's the best of both worlds, plus getting the perfect windows and doors for your home has never been easier. So what do you do? Right now, get 10%. Nope. 5%? Nope. 0% interest for up to 36 months. Or no down payment, no interest, no payments, no nada for 18 months. If you book before April 30th, you have until next Tuesday. Take ownership of your living space and make it a place worth living. How do you do that? You do that with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It started with a prediction.
Gonna go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus audio network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
Regulators!
Round two, second round, round two. Hey, this is Mr. Winky Blue, and I want to invite you to another fabulous town hall fish fry where the rednecks in the woods and the thugs in the hood collide, and we set that mess to the side.
If you know like I know, you don't want to step to this.
Hey, this is Greg Kennedy, and I'm cordially inviting you to our second town hall meeting, April 26, 5:30 p.m. You want to be there. Free vapes will be sponsored by Cool Breeze Vape Company. The first 50 people through the door will receive those. Food will be provided as long as supplies last. This is another Winky Blue production, and you don't want to miss it. April 26, 5:30 p.m., 100 Gems Restaurant, 6727 North Titonia Avenue. Security enforced. Don't meet us there, beat us there.
Happy Financial Literacy Month from Educators Credit Union. If you're dreaming of financial freedom, new ways to pay down debt, or tips to invest in your future, Educators Credit Union can help. They offer budgeting tools, personal finance courses, and debt solutions to turn your financial dreams into reality. Learn more at ECU.com. That is ECU.com. Membership at Educators Credit Union is open to anyone who lives or works in southeastern Wisconsin, and they are federally insured by NCUA.
At We Energies, we're committed to building a bright, sustainable energy future. We're investing in clean energy projects like solar, wind, and battery storage. As a leader in the decarbonization effort, our goal is to achieve net zero carbon emissions from our generation fleet by 2050. It's part of our plan to provide the affordable, reliable, and clean energy you depend on. Learn more at WeEnergies.com. We Energies, people you can trust, energy you can depend on. This message was paid for by the stockholders of WEC Energy Group.
Coming with straight truth.
When we talk about giving more money to these ideas and we are pouring into NPS, sometimes people wonder, is they pouring into a cup with a hole in it? They got raises. We got one of the highest paid superintendents in the state. Where the money going? And not only for NPS, where's all the money going that's coming in to help the city of Milwaukee? Is it being managed correctly? I'm talking about on all sides.
Catch the Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
See, Tony from Tulsa hadn't been on arguing all that time, I would have had more time to talk about stuff. But, you know, it's an excuse. I got to blame somebody. Isn't that what he said? It's an excuse. So, 833-212. Okay, I'm down to 2 cups of coffee. I got to throw that one away because I teased him. But whatever. So before the break, we were talking about this whole Israel-Palestinian issue, which is, I believe, a separate issue from Israel and Hamas, right? You can't expect people in Palestine to turn on Hamas when they are embedded within the Palestinian population and you don't know who is pro-Hamas and who's not pro-Hamas in the Palestinians. Plus, you have Jewish people working in the settlement. You have Americans working in the settlement and British people and all sorts of aid. And when you have an argument where there's a history, you know, it kind of reminds me of Bosnia-Herzegovina back in the day, right? Where there was this slaughtering that was taking place, and the Croatians and the Serbs, and it just went on and on and on. And I don't some things I don't know will ever change. If that changes in the Middle East, they may end up having to either repatriate, if I'm using the right word, you know, migrate the Palestinians away from Gaza, but then not allow Israel to take that land either. because they're going to continually fight over it and continually disagree over it. And at some point, somebody's going to lose or somebody's going to escalate, and it's going to end up being a world war. Now, granted, we got no skin in the game, but they're an ally. And people will take it as being anti-something or pro-something, regardless of whichever side you take. So at some point, we're going to have to step up. We as individuals, we as Americans, we as non-political people, and tell our politicians and our representatives in local, county, state, and federal government, this is what we want. And we can't be pro-America just because we're American. We have to be pro-America doing the right thing in America. And it's something that we struggle with day in and day out because we keep comparing what we do or what other countries do to what we do. And it's not fair. And personally, I think it's inappropriate because the way that we carry ourselves and the things that we do don't transfer to other countries. You can't go into another country and use your values and your ethics and your ways of life and your thinking and your, for lack of a better term, democracy, and say, if you don't act like us, something's wrong with you. We can disagree all day, but what we can't do is go in somebody else's country and change them and make them be what we think they should be. And so at some point, we're going to have to take a step back as Americans, but step up as humans and chill everybody out, because otherwise we're going to head into World War III. And if we keep it going, World War III is bound to happen. Like, that's a non-starter as it relates to arguing whether or not it won't. It's going to. And if we think we are living in a recession now, if we think we're living in a time when we could easily open up our oil reserves, refill them, open it up, and our gas prices will drop to $1 a gallon, and we'll be fine. Or we continue to follow the ridiculousness of the ways the world is going now and talk ourselves into an even bigger recession and bigger food lines, all for the sake of the environment. There has to be a happy medium. No one seems to want to come to the table to discuss what's going on here in America. And so Tony from Tulsa is right. Al is right. Winky Blue is right. I'm right. You're right. So instead of compromising, let's figure out what we want. Let's sit down, have a conversation, and make it right. Because all we're doing is feeding a fire in multiple countries in the Middle East, multiple countries in Europe. But we're not there, but we've got troops there. And it's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time, and we too will have those same issues come to our doorstep as they did in 9/11. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Top 5 and 5 up next. We'll be right back.
Truth Nation, the time is almost here. Be sure to tap into the Tory Lowe Show Friday, May 3rd, as I will be giving away $5,000 to one of our lucky true fans who was entered in to win the Gruber Law Office's $5,000 giveaway. Again, that's Friday, May 3rd, when I will be giving away $5,000 to one of our lucky true fans between 1 and 4. And remember, you have to be tapped into the show in order to win this cash money.
1017 The Truth and Associated Bank have teamed up for our Black-owned business give back. Each quarter, we'll be giving away $6,000 worth of free commercial advertising for 3 months to 5 Black businesses. To sign up for your business's chance to win $6,000 of commercial campaign marketing on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, visit blackbusinessgiveback.com. That's blackbusinessgiveback.com. Let's rebuild our community's backbone through exposure on the truth. For official rules, head to blackbusinessgiveback.com. Associated Bank, member FDIC.
My name is Ariel. When I arrived in the U.S. at 19, I struggled to find job opportunities without my high school diploma. My entire life changed when I took a chance and got my high school diploma at age 22. Everything I have, my education, my career, my marriage, I owe to the Adult Literacy Center and my teachers. They were with me every step of the way, helping with my English and math, making sure I pushed through all the challenges.
Ariel, your success proves that what I'm doing as a teacher has real meaning.
It was an honor helping you achieve your greatness. Now you're helping others achieve theirs. It inspires me.
Education was the key that unlocked all my opportunities.
When you graduate, they graduate. Find free and supportive adult education centers near you at finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Being blind doesn't always look how others may think. Stargardt disease was supposed to define me.
Retinitis pigmentosa aimed to overwhelm my family.
It tried to cut me down. A blinding eye disease attempted to force me away from doing what I was born to do.
But it cannot stop me. I have the tools.
I will keep moving forward.
Pushing past the limits of this disability.
I know where to find support and where I can be seen.
Loss of sight won't blind our vision. Innovative research, educational resources, supportive community. The Foundation Fighting Blindness is leading the charge in finding treatments and cures for blinding diseases. Learn more at fightingblindness.org. A public service message from the Foundation Fighting Blindness.
Milwaukee's Black Talk lives here. You are listening to 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 1017 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Ray Riley with your news update. It's been proven once again that heroes come in all shapes and sizes. 14-year-old A.C. Holland III sprang into action Wednesday after his school bus driver suffered a medical emergency. According to the Glendale River Hills School District, the bus driver's medical emergency left her unconscious, allowing the bus to veer into oncoming traffic. Holland stated he felt the bus accelerate and saw the driver's head hit the wheel. Holland has had experience around cars as his father is a mechanic. This gave him the confidence to save the day by taking the driver's foot off the wheel and hit the brakes to stop the bus. A right-way safety team was dispatched to the scene, and the children were eventually taken home by an alternate bus driver. Former President Donald Trump is still scheduled to visit Wisconsin next week. His visit will be the first rally since his hush money criminal trial began in New York. ABC's Peter Harambellis tells WTMJ's Wisconsin Morning News that a scheduling conflict has been moved around by a judge for him to come and visit.
There was a bit of a scheduling conflict at first, but the judge appears to have moved that hearing on the gag order from Wednesday, as it was originally planned, over to Thursday. It's unclear who raised the concern first, but it looks like Trump might be in the clear at the moment.
Trump is scheduled to speak at the Waukesha County Expo Center Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pro-Palestinian protests have been taking over college campuses across the country. Now local colleges like UW-Milwaukee and Marquette University are addressing how they will handle these protests if they make it to their campuses.
I'm very proud that with all the conflict going on in Gaza with Israel and Palestine, that we haven't seen, that violence come to our campus. And I do believe it's because we really stress finding common ground with people that are different than you.
UW-Madison Chancellor Jennifer Mnuchin voiced her support of students' rights to assemble at a roundtable Tuesday, so long as those actions stay within the permissible limits and rules. In February of this year, 5 UW-Milwaukee students were arrested after staging a sit-in out of Chancellor Mark Moen's office. They wanted to discuss demands for renaming the library, ending study abroad programs to Israel, and to stop sending money to weapon manufacturers who are involved with the war that the college supports. On Marquette's campus, women were removing flags from school-sanctioned Gaza Memorial, and on UW-Madison's campus, they have a federal investigation in regard to the protection of Jewish students. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris continues on the new 1017 The Truth.
bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what, because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. You know, I went back and listened to myself, and sometimes I don't enunciate words clearly, like truth in the afternoons instead of truth in the truth any, like lazy talk, right? It's called black vernacular. Get over yourself. So you're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Let me hit the talk. Okay, we've got nothing on the talk and text line. Must be Friday. And I've been popping off all day, and it's just one of them days. And, well, I'm going to just jump in. Just so you know, I'm going to do either 2 number 5s or 2 number 1s. I think I'm going to do 2 number 1s because I got 6 stories, and I just want to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just want to cover them all.
Number 5.
There's a measles outbreak in Dane County, and officials are tracing the potential exposures. And so they've been reported in over half a dozen states since the beginning of the year. And, of course, because we like to travel, the Wisconsin Department of Health Services confirmed a case of the measles in Dane County and warned possible exposures in Rock County. And health officials are actively investigating to identify and notify individuals who have been exposed to the virus. So if you're there, or if you're near there, or if you came from there, you might want to be careful. They said the person works and travels to Rock County. And so measles have been reported over, since the beginning of the year to over half. Well, no, it looks like a full dozen states, right? So they're collaborating with Public Health of Madison and Dane County and Rock County Public Health to trace potential exposures. And so that'll be coming up. So the best way to protect yourself is you take your MMR vaccine. If you don't believe in vaccines, well, I don't know how to help you, but as a child, you need to get your measles vaccine. That's what health authorities advise. It's been shown that after receiving 2 doses, it's 97% effective in preventing measles. What does that mean? It's an it's an immunization, right? It's going to stop you from getting measles versus just lowering the symptoms, so to speak, right? So it's not like COVID or it's not like the flu. It'll literally be 97% effective to stop you from actually getting the measles.
Number 4.
Milwaukee Bucks face a possibility of continuing their Eastern Conference first round playoff series against the Indiana Pacers tonight without two of their top players. So Chris Middleton has a sprained ankle that kept him from practicing yesterday, and his status is in question for Game 3. Well, we already don't have Giannis. He left with a calf strain. So Doc Rivers says it's another holding our breath situation. Honestly, I don't know. That doesn't sound positive from a coach, does it? Does that sound positive from a coach? Very interesting.
Number 3.
This from TMJ4.com. The TMJ Lighthouse team is shining a light on how Milwaukee County is investigating millions of dollars into getting people out of homeless shelters and into permanent housing. Ryan Jenkins spoke with the county's top housing official and someone who's benefited from county housing services in the past, and the rise in homelessness is an issue he's been reporting on for months now. And in other parts of the country, of course, some municipalities are considering, and we talked about it the other day, criminalizing homelessness. The U.S. Supreme Court is actually hearing a case on that topic this week. So in Milwaukee, housing officials have purchased the Hillview building on the city's south side. It's the first county-owned emergency shelter that will help connect people with resources, including permanent housing. So I say hats off to James Matthey, the Milwaukee County Housing Administrator. The space is being rehabbed. Kevin Perez, who was once homeless and talked about this type of development could be a major difference in the community. Well, now it's here. Instead of pop-up places and vans and all this stuff and the park and ride and camping out and sleeping next to vents when it's too cold because there's no space, the county actually is fighting back. And so I commend the county board of supervisors. I commend the county supervisor, David Crowley, in creating this entity that will, by and large, decriminalize homelessness. I hope Wisconsin would never, ever, ever get an ordinance or a state statute that would criminalize misfortune the way we used to when you couldn't pay your debts. We'd have a debtor's prison. Now we're talking about a homeless prison. So hats off to the county. Great work. It is greatly appreciated.
Number 2.
You heard about the crash the other day. A 24-year-old man who's been charged in a crash that killed 2 people is going to court. There was a crash at 27th and St. Paul on this past Tuesday. Papa Diallo is facing first-degree reckless homicide, 2 counts, vehicle operator fleeing, eluding police, resulting in the death of another, 2 counts, first-degree recklessly endangering safety, and 2 counts of bail jumping. Well, according to the criminal complaint, a Milwaukee County Sheriff's deputy was on patrol near the Mitchell Park Domes when he attempted to stop a Ford Focus with no license plates that had drifted over the fog line. The deputy stated that after activating lights and siren, later determined to be driven by Diallo, accelerated away from him, swerving into the opposite lanes on the 27th Street Viaduct in order to maneuver around other northbound traffic and flee. And so all that came to a stop when there was a crash. And viewing the squad camera footage and indicating the deputy was traveling at a rate of about 70 miles an hour just before the collision in the 30-mile-an-hour zone. So, 69-year-old man, the passenger in the Toyota Camry, died at the scene. The driver of the Camry, a 65-year-old woman, died yesterday at an area hospital, and autopsies revealed both deaths occurred due to blunt force injuries, and the driver of the Buick was not injured. Diallo was taken to an area hospital for treatment. They say a nurse located a handgun in his pocket and a small amount of marijuana. Records show he was released from custody in a separate Waukesha County case for fleeing, causing bodily harm, and second-degree recklessly endangering safety in October of 2023 on a $3,000 cash bail. So what does that mean? These are instances of when the bail is set. We keep complaining about cash bail and saying how unfair it is, but when people I don't even know if I should go into it. Had they set the bail high enough and kept this person in jail, 2 people would be alive today. If they are not alive because Waukesha set the bail at $3,000 cash and they were able to pay it. And that's enough of that.
Number 1.
From the Journal Sentinel, speaking of crashes, a new report issued yesterday reinforced what we just talked about. Milwaukee has the most dangerous roadways in the state and has in recent years experienced a surge in traffic deaths that is mainly impacting black and brown lives. Milwaukee officials are trying to address the street by going on the offensive against reckless driving with traffic calming measures and stricter penalties. The rest of the state continues to see historic decline in residents dying in a crash. So what do? I don't know. The pandemic brought an increase in traffic deaths across the state because we decided you didn't have to get a license, you didn't have to re-register your car, and so people just kept going. And even when they decided they needed to, they didn't do anything about it. So when you look at data over the last 2 decades, from 2002 to 2022, which is the latest time period that we actually have that information, traffic deaths increased 113.5%. Just in Milwaukee County. Everywhere else in the state, they declined 36.1%. So what does that tell you? Well, the data shows a 3-year average of traffic deaths increased by 69.9% in Milwaukee County, 2010 to 2012 and 2020 to 2022. Meanwhile, 3-year average, 71 traffic deaths in other counties combined declined by 5.7% in the same time. What does all this mean? Well, according to the Centers for Disease Control, 2018 to 2022, traffic deaths increased 9.8% among black residents in Wisconsin. During that same period, traffic deaths have increased by 45.3% among Latino Wisconsinites. Now, remember I tell you, what they gave us is information, and they didn't give us the actual numbers. They've got great percentages here, but no one's telling us what the actual numbers are. What I'd like to see are the number of black residents in Wisconsin and the number of black residents that died. I want to see the number of Latino residents in Wisconsin and the number that died. So if there were fewer dying that were Latino and that number increased, that increase would be significantly higher. Because if there were none that died and 1 died, or 2 or 3 or 4, that's a 400% increase. So it sounds significantly higher. And I'm not saying a person's life is less or worth more based on numbers, but it definitely is based on percentages. And you have to take a look at that when you get the real information that you're looking for. No deaths would be perfect. So we shouldn't have to worry about these percentages among black residents or Latino residents in Wisconsin, because we need to make sure that we lower them in all states. However, 13 of the 14 worst intersections for crashes occurred in the north side, predominantly black neighborhoods. So why don't we fix the neighborhood? Why doesn't neighborhood services come in, work with the traffic folks and the state, and fix those intersections? It's the only thing I can see. The other intersection is located on the south side in a predominantly Latino neighborhood. And it's a combination of driving, experience, being licensed, cars, it's all those things. But we still have to take our time to make sure we get that right.
Number 1.
In my second number 1 today, it's interesting. You've heard Democratic presidents have delivered graduation commencements at HBCUs, but there's usually a good vibe, but not this time. Strong opposition is brewing against President Joe Biden's invitation to deliver the May 24th keynote speech at iconic all-male HBCU, Morehouse College in Atlanta, Georgia. Morehouse is extending the invitation, and they did it in September. It received immediate backlash after announcing Biden's keynote address. Many complain the Morehouse is a political pawn, or merely a political pawn, in Biden's reelection bid, nothing more than a campaign stop in the crucial swing state of Georgia. Now, this is from theroot.com. Polls predict that disgruntled young black men could turn their backs on Biden and the Democratic Party on Election Day. And the way things are looking, black men in caps and gowns at Morehouse could literally turn their back on him in protests. Martin Luther King's alma mater is one of only 2 commencement invitations that Biden accepted. The U.S. Military Academy at West Point is the other, among what is likely dozens of invitations. Given the polling, well, cynics say it's unsurprising that the White House accepted an invitation to address the graduating class, since the chance for TV news bites is tantalizing. So, opponents also criticize Morehouse's plan to present Biden with an honorary doctorate. Speaking here is cool, I guess, but giving the man who drafted the '94 crime bill an honorary degree from Morehouse is crazy, somebody wrote on Quinn.zip. Indeed, many black folks have not forgotten that Biden, he sponsored the 1994 crime bill as a senator that criminal justice reform activists blamed for the wave of mass incarceration of black men in the 1990s. So this is all playing out in the backdrop of widespread protests against Biden on university campuses over his support for Israel in its war with Hamas terrorists in Gaza, where Palestinian civilians face a humanitarian crisis. So this will be interesting. Former Morehouse professor Mark Lamont Hill said opponents have dubbed the president Genocide Joe. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Your comments, your thoughts, your questions, and more right here. 833-212-1017 is the number. I want to remind you, Truth Nation, the One World Music Festival is tonight. Go to PabstTheaterGroup.com. Search One World Music Festival to buy your tickets. Right now, you still got time. Music Festival will be for the culture of Milwaukee's hip-hop scene. You can see local artists that you love, like Chicken P, 414 Big Frank, JP. Plus, you gotta honor Milwaukee's legendary rap artists like the great Cuckoo Cal and Baby Drew, Ray Nitty, Homer Blow, many, many more. Make sure you get your tickets today, right now, to attend tonight, One World Music Festival at the Riverside Theater in downtown Milwaukee. Doors open at 6. Get your tickets at PabstTheaterGroup.com. That's PabstTheaterGroup.com. And search One World Music Festival. We'll be right back.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
This Mother's Day, sweeten the celebration with Concordia Red Elephant Chocolate. Indulge in our luxurious selection of gourmet chocolates, handcrafted to create unforgettable moments, perfect for showing the special woman in your life just how much you care. An exclusive 10% off of your purchase of $40 or more with code MOM24. Give the gift of decadence with Concordia Red Elephant Chocolates. Order soon to receive for Mother's Day. Treat her to sweetness she deserves. RedElephantChocolate.com, code MOM24.
Beautify your entertainment space with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Hi, this is Gina Della from Pella. Turn your ordinary space into something extraordinary with brand new Pella windows. The luxurious look, sleek design, and custom colors available is guaranteed to give your home the extra pop to entertain and keep you comfortable. At Pella, we see windows differently. We have the highest rated energy efficient products and a complete range of durable, functional, and high quality products that bring out the best of your home. Plus, getting the perfect windows and doors for your home has never been easier. Right now, get 0% interest for up to 36 months, or no down payment, no interest, and no payments for up to 18 months if you book before April 30th. That's right, get 0% interest for up to 36 months, or no down payment, no interest, and no payments for up to 18 months. If you book before April 30th, take ownership of your living space and make it a place worth living with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin.
Happy Financial Literacy Month from Educators Credit Union. If you're dreaming of financial freedom, new ways to pay down debt, or tips to invest in your future, Educators Credit Union can help. They offer budgeting tools, personal finance courses, and debt solutions to turn your financial dreams into reality. Learn more at ECU.com. That is ECU.com. Membership at Educators Credit Union is open to anyone who lives or works in southeastern Wisconsin, and they are federally insured by NCUA.
Your drink, sir?
This virtual vacation is brought to you by Milwaukee Mitchell International Airport. For the full experience, visit flymke.com to explore our many nonstop destinations. With super convenient parking and low fares, flying from Milwaukee makes traveling so easy, it's like starting your vacation early. Fly easy, fly MKE.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because our home policies help protect your dreams and come with peace of mind. Save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote, find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating companies, American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Dr. Ken Harris, 833-212-1017 is the number. I am just going through the news, looking at some things that just make me go, okay. Alrighty then. Looking at blacknews.com, a guy wrote a book, Would Jesus Date a Woman Like Me? Offers black women a new perspective. I would, okay. I'm not even touching that. I am not going. Let me check my talking text line to see if I'm getting hollered at by anybody. It's been pretty light today, so I guess I've been getting away with a lot of stuff. Al said, great question, but anything to do with these intersections, we'll be asking them to do right. Yeah, that's true. We got to beg people. I don't understand. Like, if we protest stuff that is easy, and then when things that are difficult that you should be protesting, we don't. We don't protest black people killing black people, Hispanic people killing Hispanic people, white people killing white people. When a white cop does it, the world ends. When a black cop does it, the world ends. Hispanic, Asian cop shoots and kills somebody. But we don't complain when the police kill a white guy. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying I agree or disagree. Why don't we complain when the streets, I think for a week, we had like almost one person every day for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, get hit by a car. And nobody said anything. Woman in her 60s got killed. Nobody says anything. Young people, old people, nothing. It's like people don't care, and I just don't understand why. Like, what is it? Al said, question, why do the city put charcoal and voodoo salt in these potholes in the inner city, and 12 hours after the pothole gets fixed, needs resurfacing again? I don't know. If we're going to fix the street, and I get the fact that we have a capital improvement budget and that, capital money is planned out over X amount of years, so when they build it, they know when it's going to fail on average, and they have money to fix it, replace the street lights, but at some point, the little fix-it stuff we do just doesn't make any sense to me. It's basically garbage. That's just me, though. It's coming down to a point where the city is just falling apart and nobody really cares unless it's downtown. And then when it's downtown, the world ends. We got construction. We're going to fix everything. We got security. We got everything. And everywhere else, nobody seems to really care. And I have a problem with that nobody's complaining about it. We got schools that are not good, but nobody really complains about it. Teachers feel unsafe. A friend of mine's spouse worked at a school and said, I'm like, I completely get it. Like, there's an issue with it. Older kids, middle school kids, younger kids, out of control. But then when we come back from the break, tell me what you think about this from News One. What if teachers carried guns? With all the school shootings and problems. Now, I'm not a believer in luck, but knock on wood, because that's what everybody else says. Yeah, man, ain't shootings in black schools. But yet, when we come back, we're going to talk about a state that decided to pass a bill that they believe will keep teachers safe. You tell me. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Traffic, sports, and weather up next.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
The lives of almost all Americans have been affected by the Social Security Act since it was signed into law on August 14, 1935. For those unable to work due to health problems, there are two main types of disability benefits paid by the Social Security Administration: Social Security Disability Insurance, also called SSDI, and Supplemental Security Income, also known as SSI. I'm attorney Lauren Zwerlein from Tabak Law, and we offer free consultations to everyone. Call Tabak for the payback. TabakAttorneys.com.
The biggest names in the basketball world.
Dame Dollar Lillard.
Having fun and honest conversations.
He puts it in the shoe, right? And sets the tone for brothers and sisters and family.
Every week, Thanasis Adetokounmpo sits down with special guests on Thanalysis Show. Presented by Potawatomi Casino Hotel and Curbless ready-to-drink cocktails.
Fantastic.
Find Thanalysis Show on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts. And on YouTube by searching Thanalysis Show.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the new 1017 The Truth. Here is Telly Hughes with his truth.
How many times have we been told perception is reality? Look, I'm not here to dispute that, but as true as that statement is, it couldn't be further from the truth when it comes to social media. The way we perceive something or somebody on social media is typically nowhere near how things are in their real lives. Unfortunately, identifying the difference between people's online life versus their real lives gets compromised because people want it to be real. And that's okay. What's not okay is people trying to live up to these fictitious lives that's being presented and getting thousands of likes. You often see posts of people on vacation with the caption, "Living my best life," or "So-and-so doesn't owe me anything." Again, nothing wrong with that. But I wish people would view social media like they do SportsCenter. On those type of sports shows, they only show the highlights of the game. Highlights. On social media, you're only seeing the highlights of people's lives because you probably won't get many likes on a post that shows you stressing over having more bills than money and trying to figure it out. The point is, don't get caught up trying to live up to something that isn't even real. Influencers are going to influence, and some have made a hefty living doing so. But happiness isn't a one-size-fit-all contraption. Create your own happiness. Plan out how you're going to obtain it and then protect it the same way you would guard your most prized possession.
This has been Truth Takes on the new 1017 The Truth. Listen to The Truth Be Told with DT and Telly weekdays from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
We have an accident now, westbound 94 at 35th Street, off on the right shoulder. A little bit of rain coming down, so that's going to make things a little bit slick. Be extra careful. We also have the ramp from National Avenue to northbound 894 closed with a crash. And then one more on 43 northbound at Silver Spring. The right lane there is blocked because of this crash, so that's going to start to slow things down considerably. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, slight chance for showers and isolated thunderstorms, mostly cloudy and breezy, otherwise a low of 50. Tomorrow, partly cloudy, windy, warm. Afternoon chance of showers and storms. Some of those may be strong with highs of 78. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on the award-winning 1017 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Kyle Wallace.
With the 25th pick in the 2024 NFL Draft, the Green Bay Packers select Jordan Morgan, tackle, Arizona.
That sound courtesy of Packers.com. Yes, Jordan Morgan is the selection for the Packers in the first round. We will see what they have coming up for the rest of the draft, as the second and third round will be tonight, with the 4th through 7th round happening on Saturday, and that can be seen on ESPN. The Milwaukee Bucks are back in action this afternoon as they gear up for their Game 3 matchup against the Pacers in Indiana. Chris Middleton's health is in doubt. He will be a game-time decision. Tip-off for that game is set for 4:30, so set your clock, and it can be heard on our sister station, 620 WTMJ. This True Sports Update was brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams, member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. I got a couple stories I want to toss at you before we get out of here for the weekend, and you be checking out my best of on Saturday and Sunday. The Tennessee legislature, I talked about it before the break, this past Tuesday passed a bill that faculty and staff are allowed to carry concealed handguns in school as a response to last year's school shooting in Nashville that killed 6 people, including 3 9-year-olds. Now, here's the weird part. I've heard police officers who I worked with, who I had to correct, say guns don't belong in the black community. When I know for a fact many of the white households I went into on the south side of Milwaukee that were predominantly in a predominantly white area, they had guns in their house. Matter of fact, those white cops had guns in their houses. So I had to ask, who are you to tell somebody else they shouldn't be carrying a gun when they have a right to under the Constitution of the United States of America? And so I'm hard-pressed to see Republicans. The story talks about they responded to high-profile shootings by yelling that armed teachers would protect students, but teachers aren't paid enough to carry out their normal duties educating youth, let alone paid enough to do proper and regular firearms training and regularly updated mental health screening so they can play what this article calls kindergarten cop. It's almost as if conservatives watched too many Clint Eastwood movies when they were kids, and that's why they grew up to be passionate advocates of the notion that the only thing that can stop a bad guy with a gun is a good, bad, and ugly guy with a gun. Now, with all due respect, that is usually the only way that you can stop a bad guy with a gun. So if you think that you can talk somebody out of something if they purpose in their heart and mind to use one, I think you're sadly mistaken. Well, the measure was approved by the state's House, which voted 68-24 in favor of the bill as protesters shouted their objections and said, not one more kid, blood on your hands, vote them out. so loudly that they nearly drowned out the discussion on the House floor. Republican Bo Mitchell, a Democrat, said, "This is our reaction to students and teachers being murdered in a school. Our reaction is to throw more guns at it. What's wrong with us?" Well, I see both sides of it. I understand both sides of it. But the problem is these same conservatives that scream and holler would scream and holler if they put guns in a black community. Because all we're going to do is shoot and kill each other, which I think they don't really care. And I mean, I'm generalizing, but I've never heard Republicans or conservatives scream and holler that black people, in order to be safe in their community, should get a concealed carry license and protect themselves and get training and gun locks and gun safes and all that. They just want them turned in. Why aren't we having gun buybacks in white communities? Why aren't we in the suburbs doing a buyback? Wonder why. Because like most politicians, both conservative and liberal, Democrat and Republican, they talk out of the side of their face. But when it comes to black communities, right? Conservatives blame mass shootings on rap music, video games, lack of God, and mental illness, but mass shootings keep occurring in white communities. Black people are not going into schools and shooting up people and blowing up stuff and shooting out of hotel windows at country music concerts in Las Vegas. I don't see black people doing that. So when we talk about crime and we talk about culture, the only culture that seems to be wicked enough to do those types of things seems to be white culture. Why aren't we correcting that? Why aren't we putting something on the board to stop poor kids in predominantly white communities from being victims of crime? It seems like we only go out of our way to change and add laws that protect white communities. We've heard no uprising in the black community. We don't hear legislators. And let's face it, the majority of legislations throughout Milwaukee, and I think Milwaukee is an anomaly because it's the largest city, but many local municipality politicians are white. And when there's a shooting, especially a school shooting, that's your community. Why don't you fix it? Why don't you get together with your leadership and fix it? Because I blame you. I blame the guns that you have in your house as the reason why you need to have guns in schools. It literally needs to be a gun-free zone unless you're a law enforcement officer or you're working security and you get trained every year. Period. Like, I don't understand this. But I guess what happens is you'll go out of your way to help secure your children, but then you take away that same right when we try to do it. You tell us we don't need guns in our community because there's shootings. You have mass shootings in your community. You say you should have a gun. I guess you're smarter than us? I don't know. What are your thoughts? 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm convinced that there's hypocrisy, as they say, run amok. That there's hypocrisy in the white community that talks about all these things. I just don't see them doing anything about it. I don't hear the whining and the crying and the gnashing of teeth and the renting of clothes with traffic deaths. How terrible it is. We're supposed to be in charge of our community. We're supposed to be the ones that watch over our community. Nobody else. And when it goes south, it's our fault. When it goes south, we should take care of our community. Hey, you got shootings in predominantly white schools and they're killing kids. they're killing adults. They're killing teachers and faculty. If you ask me, you should actually do something about that. If you ask me, you should definitely do something about that. 833-212-1017 is the number. What are your thoughts? Hey, I want to remind you that garage doors can sometimes give you a headache. Snow, rain like it is now, shine. I'm here to tell you it's irritating to have to deal with a malfunctioning door. And the best way I know how to deal with it is to call my friends at Geist, and they'll get you right. Geist is family-owned and operated since 1955, and they're the trusted authority on garage doors and openers in southeastern Wisconsin. Trust me, I used them too. They were literally at my home yesterday. Geist has garage doors and openers for every budget and can even build custom designs to meet your exact preferences. So, conventional garage door, or when they came to my house, historic home, or build new for fast, reliable garage repair solutions. Let me tell you, they came out to my house 10 o'clock in the morning. At 10:09, they were done. At 11 o'clock, I had an estimate on what they needed to do, what needed to be repaired, how we needed to do it, like that. So when they talk about fast, if you want to talk about reliable garage repair solutions, go to geistdoors.com. That's geistdoors.com. I did. Or call 262-784-4250. Remember, don't think twice. I didn't. Call Geist.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It started with a prediction.
Gonna go out there and play basketball and win.
And how many games?
6.
It became the culture.
Chance of Bucks in 6.
Being a Bucks fan means you live and breathe Bucks in 6. Brandon Jennings created the prophecy. Tune into Behind the Bucks, the story of Brandon Jennings on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and streaming wherever you get your podcasts.
That's for the culture.
The Empowerment Small Business Loan Program, we're talking about up to $5 million, which for small business owners, we need that. That's like payroll, that's resources. So can you just let us know, what is the program and why is this lending program so important to Old National Bank?
Years ago, our CEO, Jim Ryan, this program is his brainchild. He was working with Roland Shelton, who you know, Denise, out of Evansville, and they identified that African-American business owners, Hispanic business owners, Native American business owners, as well as women business owners had a difficult time in obtaining financing from the traditional credit partners. And so we went out, created a program, launched it last year, 2023. And so far last year, we have helped over 100 successful minority and women-owned businesses with about $25 million in loans. We've already started this year with almost $8 million in approvals, again, geared toward minority business owners and women business owners that normally had difficulties in obtaining traditional credit finance.
Ever feel stuck in a mental maze, endlessly spiraling? Sometimes an encouraging reminder helps. Be Sad, Keep Going is a mental health and wellness brand by Marina Miranda Creative that reminds you it's okay to feel sad as long as you keep moving forward. By embracing your emotions, you're not just improving your health, but rewriting the narrative for generations to come. Join the movement today and claim 10% off their range of apparel using code KEEPGOING10. That's KEEPGOING10 when you visit MarinaMirandaCreative.com. Be Sad, Keep Going is dedicated to improving mental health by reminding you of your resilience.
Experience, knowledge, results. That's what really matters when you need help after a serious truck accident. You'll need a lawyer experienced in fighting and winning for people just like you. Gruber Law Offices has the resources, strong track record of success, and a team of experienced lawyers to take care of your needs. We've successfully helped people injured in big truck accidents for more than 35 years. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Coming with straight truth.
When we talk about giving more money to these ideas and we are pouring into NPS, sometimes people wonder, is they pouring into a cup with a hole in it? They got raises. We got one of the highest paid superintendents in the state. Where the money going? And not only for MPS, where's all the money going that's coming in to help the city of Milwaukee? Is it being managed correctly? I'm talking about on all sides.
Catch the Tory Lowe Show every weekday from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, as we got about 9 minutes or so left. Actually, we got 9 minutes exactly. 833-212-1017 is the number if you got anything you want to toss in. Hit me on the talking text line, or just, do what you do. So, as usual, I'm a news junkie, and I kind of scroll through news as I talk, as I write, as I travel, whatever I do. I always try to keep up with what's going in the news. And so I've got multiple sources. Like right now, I'm like typing into my phone and looking on what's going on there. And I'm looking at podcasts that are going on. And I got, let me see. If you're on YouTube watching, I got this right here. I'm looking, always searching, clicking, tabs open, always looking at, because when I chill, like I'm out. I'm not touching anything. I'm not looking at anything. I'm not going to get your message. I'm out. But every now and then I have to look at some of the lighter things in life. And I got some things I want to run through. Let me see if I can squeeze through them. Dumb things people believed when they were kids. Now, granted, no, I'm not going to do that. I can't believe that people believe some of this stuff, but yeah. Let me just go through. When I was a kid, I thought the sound of cicadas I can't believe this. They thought that sound was actually the sun crackling on really hot days. How many million miles away from us the sun is? Okay. I thought that Google had people typing the answers in as I searched them. I thought color in TV and movies was actually invented halfway through The Wizard of Oz, hence the second half being in color. I didn't know the meaning of the phrase, "Is that a banana in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?" I thought it was just funny to say, because having a banana in your pocket is funny to a 7-year-old. Well, one day my dad had a bunch of stuff in his pockets which made a bulge, and I said, "Hey, Dad, is that a banana in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?" All the surrounding adults' faces dropped, and after my mom explained it to me, I didn't make eye contact with my dad for at least 2 weeks. I probably would have dropped out of his life. Just saying. Here's another one. When I was little, I thought there were little, really tiny people inside our bodies stomping on food to make it digest, and that there were little guys in our brains trying to find our memories with books and computers. Okay, that was dumb. When I learned Harriet Tubman and the Underground Railroad, when I heard about that, I thought it was a real train that ran underground. So I thought, wouldn't the slave owners see the smoke? It also made me upset that Harriet Tubman didn't get credit for inventing the subway. Okay, I'm done. That was dumb. Let me see if I got any more. I used to think one day I'd be older than my brother. When he'd do something mean to me, I'd storm up to my room thinking, when I'm older than you, you're going to be sorry. I used to think the tornadoes could hear you. So when you were taking shelter, you had to be silent or else it would come straight for your house. I used to kind of think that. That's one of those dumb things I used to think as a kid. Okay. I'm not touching that. I thought people on TV could see me through the screen. I thought I could make it rain by standing outside on the balcony with a spray bottle my mom used to water the plants and spray it into the air. There's some really dumb people. Notice I didn't use the S word. I thought that movies were live plays happening behind a screen, and as for the animated movies, I thought they used movable character-shaped balloons. That was dumb. And finally, here's a dumb one. I used to believe that a dead-end street meant that there were corpses buried under the pavement. I was a morbid child. That was dumb. That was dumb. You got any thoughts like that? 833-212-1017 is the number. That's not all there. That's not all there. I'm sorry. So I was looking at this story and I got a question. Black people get on white people for using certain terms. Why don't we get on black people for using certain terms? So, can black people use words that are not appropriate for white people? And if so, what are they? I mean, because I know that there are some words that are used in the black community, which I won't repeat, that usually most white people have never heard it. Like they've never heard these particular words. But yet, they're used. And I'm not talking about the ones that are very well known. I'm talking about the ones that are only said in secret. And no, I'm not going to out other people, but I'm just saying it's important, because isn't it a form of like reverse, I don't know if you can call it reverse racism. Is it something that you can call just racism, period? And that these things started in the South, but they didn't necessarily come from us. They came from other ethnic groups, and then we started using it. So maybe next week I'll get enough courage. I'll take the weekend and I'll think about it, and maybe I'll gather enough courage to talk about it on Monday. You're listening to... Can you tell it's time for me to go for the weekend? You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Tori Lowe Show's coming up next. Hey, make sure if you get a chance, go hang out this weekend. There's a lot of rap going on and a lot of shows going on. One World Music Festival. Make sure you check it out. Hang out. We've got stuff coming up on Saturday. Make sure you're listening here at 10 o'clock this weekend. Planned Parenthood. So there are more than enough things going on right here on 101.7 The Truth. Make sure you keep it locked right here 24 hours a day. I appreciate you. I thank you for listening this week. I'll see y'all next week. Thank you, Jason. Appreciate you. God bless. Take care. I'm out.
1017 The Truth and Associated Bank have teamed up for our Black-owned business give back. Each quarter, we'll be giving away $6,000 worth of free commercial advertising for 3 months to 5 Black businesses. To sign up for your business's chance to win $6,000 of commercial campaign marketing on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, visit blackbusinessgiveback.com.